What's up, everyone? It's Daniel and Elizabeth.
Hello.
And we're bringing another episode of the House of I podcast. What's happening?
What's wrong with you?
Today is September 1st, and we are we're getting ready here for Freddie Villa. That he's a good friend of ours that happens to be a sound engineer that has done sound for us at multiple gigs and multiple venues. He's also a entrepreneur who happens to do pinstriping as a side. I think that's his side project is pinstriping. We're going to talk about that. Yeah. Pretty interested in hearing on how he got started in that whole thing and how the process really of how that happens. So that'll be cool to talk about. And then I guess another thing I want to bring up is the previous podcast. I apologize for all my likes in that podcast. I said like a lot. I'm going to try and focus on not doing that this podcast, but I can't guarantee anything.
Can't promise anything?
I'm pretty shitty. When it comes to talking to people live for some reason, or not even live, but just even on recording, I find myself like struggling to find words. But that might be an antisocial thing or something. I don't know. There is a raccoon. What the fuck is happening right now?
Dude, there's a cat.
There is literally a cat and a raccoon in our fucking front yard. What is this raccoon doing? Is he going to come up to the window? I think he's going to come up to the window.
He's turning the corner.
What the fuck? Go murder him right now.
A raccoon in the middle of the day.
That's so weird, dude. What the fuck is he doing?
I don't know.
Maybe he knows that we're podcasting and he's like, hey, what's up?
Maybe he knows the cat and they're hanging out.
Maybe they're trying to rob us.
Damn raccoons.
Fuckers. Anyway, that legit happened though. A raccoon did come. But yeah, so this is the next episode of the House High podcast. I guess we'll probably drop in our upcoming dates, which we've got a couple more now, which is nice. And yeah. So I hope you enjoy and go fuck yourself. No, I'm just kidding.
Peace.
That is totally a billboard thing. I hope you enjoy.
I hope you do.
Her talk with Freddie Villa. I like to start like that too. Just kind of like start it. But yeah, I just find, I don't know, it's hard because I was saying earlier that I try to figure out what I'm gonna say, and it's not, since I know I'm like recording, you know, it's hard to, I don't know, it's hard to find words for me sometimes. I don't know.
Words are hard, man. Words are hard in general.
Words are hard.
I can articulate like a motherfucker online, like typed if I have time.
Yes.
Right, exactly.
My articulation is on point.
Well, it's because you're thinking about it too. You have
Yeah.
time to think. You know what I'm saying? It's different when you're speaking to someone in person, like in front of them. You just kind of, I guess what it is like me trying not to have any space in between my words.
That's natural.
Yeah.
I watched a TED Talk about that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy was talking about the pros and cons of like speech and how you should and shouldn't talk. On stage really was most of it, but it was pretty good. And he says that pauses are powerful. Like he took a long time. He's like, pause is powerful.
Yeah. That makes sense.
True.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Space.
Alec Baldwin in 30 Rock does it a lot, and they did it on purpose, and it works.
It works.
It works.
Yeah, it's almost like a part of the communication. But then again, like verbal and physical, like visual communication, visual keys and all that also have to be there. And tone of voice, all this shit. I don't know. It was pretty cool, though. I like listening to shit like that sometimes.
I like TED Talks, too, yeah.
Not just TED Talks, but almost anything that's like kind of makes you think of what you're doing, why you're doing it. You know, I've seen things on like... you know, the people that cold read people, like the psychics that cold read and shit like that. Like,
I can like figure them out like that.
Yeah, the manipulation of how they get this shit worked out. Like that shit. It's
a trick.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. It's a trick, but it's also kind of manipulation in like the human psyche.
Yes.
So, like,
Right.
how are these people fooled into like getting into cults and shit like that? Like,
Exactly.
Oh goddamn, I love cults.
Oh,
Yeah, dude.
Have you seen Wild Wild Country?
Yeah, I did
Netflix.
watch that one. That one wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna
Really?
be, but it was pretty. I thought it was pretty good.
Have you okay? What
liked
would you
it.
recommend for me then? Because I loved it.
As far as watching,
Yeah, like something like. Have you seen another show that was kind of on cults or something like that?
I listened to something I listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
So there's one literally on Colts. It's
Which
called
one?
Colts.
Oh, okay.
It's got a gold background. I listen on TuneIn Radio, which
TuneIn. Okay, I've done that one. Yeah.
I don't know because there's Spotify, there's TuneIn, there's Stitcher app. I think owns just for podcasts.
Okay.
But it's called Colts, and it gets deep into the different stuff. But I don't know. I like the famous ones. I like Jonestown. And
Do you listen to Joe Rogan's podcast?
yeah, I listen to that a lot.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite one.
He's good, and he's underestimated in the fact that people think he's a like a lunk, like a jarhead or something.
Yeah.
But the dude's pretty deep.
Yeah, I mean he likes to claim that he's not smart, but I think like he has a very open mind. I feel with a lot of things that come. Like the one thing I have noticed recently is that he'll have someone controversial on, like let's say Ted Nugent or something like that.
Yeah.
And he won't necessarily. I mean, he argues with them. Like he'll give them his opinion, but he won't stick with it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like he allows conversation to flow.
That's a scientific mindset.
Mm-hmm.
To have that mindset is to say, this is what I think is true. Now, I need everybody in the world to make this false so that I can be open-minded enough to say it might not be real, this. You know what I mean? So it's like you test it out, and this guy says, bam, this ain't right. So now you have to open mind to like
I think it's
switch your views.
Yeah. I think it's great to talk to someone who has a complete opposite view of you.
You have to. Yeah, you have to.
And kind of sit there and be able to go back and forth, never take it personally, never raise it, just kind of have the dialogue where it's like, it kind of becomes almost like a chess match. You're like, here.
Yeah,
kind of.
I would say so, yeah.
And even the people that are completely closed, like, you're not going to change them.
No. Yeah.
You can learn from the fact that those people exist, like, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I've met fuckers like that are like, this is this, and you're like, well, I don't know, man. That seems kind of shady. And they're like, well, that's fucking what it is. Like, well, then you exist. There's got to be other people just like you.
No,
exactly.
there's
that won't, they won't
budge.
fucking, but, like, I think, like, a dude, in the podcast says Rogan, he's like, it's a tribal mentality.
Yeah.
To where people want to hold on to their
beliefs.
Yeah. And the more you try to pull them away, the harder they dig deep their heels into the dirt.
Exactly.
And champion for their cause, which may be completely.
I've said this a lot.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Like I've started to realize that it is hard for a lot of people to just admit that they don't know something.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Nobody
like,
wants to look foolish.
Yeah, they don't, and it's like, what's wrong? Like, I get your initial reaction to not wanting to seem that way, but it's like ultimately, you come off humble, and then you can learn from that. You know, from that experience. Yeah. Let's say if you whatever, I didn't know this. It's like I try to do it as much as possible. If I don't know something, I just say I don't know.
It's true, and that's where I wish like candidates and such would come out and say stuff like that, like the harder topics. And I don't want to like get into what's right or what's wrong, but like abortion is a hard topic.
Yeah.
But everybody's got this fucking line in the sand. It is or it isn't.
Yeah.
But that's a hard fucking topic, and I'd like for somebody to say, "Man, that's just a hard topic. I don't know about that one."
Exactly.
But I guess like that's a good example.
That one or gun
control.
That's another real hard one. I mean, it's just like,
I mean, what are your opinions?
Me, I don't know. It's hard to say because they're out there.
Yeah.
Guns are out there, and I mean, you're not going to get them all.
You're a gun owner, right?
Yeah. You're not going to get them all.
You're not. It's like the war on drugs. It's the same kind of idea.
Yeah, you're not going to get all the drugs, but I mean, you would want more mental health help in the world, and I think that's a good start. But then you're talking about a whole line of stuff that needs to be fixed. And I mean, it's just the fact that guns are there, but it's hard. That one's hard. Like, what do you do? Make stricter laws, but then less, like, the people that don't follow the laws don't care.
Yeah,
they're gonna break the laws anyways. But then you could try it.
Yeah.
What the hell? It might work. I don't know.
Yeah. The one crazy person that walks in and ends up walking out with a gun. Well, we could have avoided that.
Maybe
that's and that's
but then
kind of
mindsets change
kind of
so fast. I could be going into dementia within the next couple of years. You wouldn't even know it.
It's true.
And I'm, as a gun owner, you wouldn't know that I've gone into dementia within 2 years or schizophrenia. Like, people just get small spurts of it. Then all of a sudden, it becomes an issue within a couple
or
of
you
years.
own a gun already. and you were fine.
You're fine.
And then all of a sudden you're going down that path.
Yeah.
Or you didn't own a gun, and then you don't have a record. You're starting to get dementia, and that's why you want a gun.
Yeah, now you want one.
But no one knows.
Nobody knows.
Your record is clean anyways.
Yeah, so you went and racked up 7 ARs or whatever. I mean,
why? Who knows?
And then that, like, also people say, why have the high capacity stuff? So, it's out there. Like, people are going to want it. If there's machine guns and tanks, motherfuckers are going to want it.
I think the argument that most people have with that, where it's, I want to protect myself, is like against the government or whatever. That's, to me, that argument is ridiculous. I don't mind someone having a weapon to protect themselves against a person, another person maybe trying to break in, but the whole concept of I just want to make sure I have something just in case.
But you're saying don't have something that shoots 50 bullets at once.
Well,
or
I don't,
a bunch of bullets. Like, you can't have something that has.
Honestly, I don't even know about that anymore. I think my views on that has changed, because I think before I said, people shouldn't be able to buy. Well, okay, so this is honestly, I think I still think this. I think a person should have, they should have to prove that they're either that they can handle that weapon professionally or responsibly. Mm-hmm. Like what's that the famous one, the AR, what is it, the AR-15?
Yeah, the AR.
Okay, so like for example, isn't that a military grade weapon?
Well, the military ones are like fully automatic, so they just shoot.
So these are semi?
These are all semi. A regular person can get a fully automatic one, I believe.
They can?
With a tax, you have to go get a stamp or something, like some regulated.
So you pay a little bit more.
You pay a lot more. I think it's like a few $1,000s to have that, but you got to go through like the federal thing and this and that. You got to go through a lot of vetting to get that. I'm assuming. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have that shit.
And I'm not against that, right? I think you should have your right to do that, but I do believe that I don't think any fucking random guy should just be able to do that. Because the thing is, it's like you don't know what their motives are for purchasing a weapon like that.
I mean, in the end, they're just rifles. There are some that, like, for example, you say an AR-15. Mm-hmm. There are some that look like just a regular ass rifle. It's all wooden stock. It doesn't look scary and black and shit. Mm-hmm. That are fully automatic. I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell by looking at it.
They're the same thing.
You can get one that looks like a wooden rifle that will spray bullets way faster than that one that you think looks scary.
Yeah.
So it's hard to even say. It's just kind of It's kind of just military grade or not. I mean, the military uses particular handguns, so I can have access to them handguns.
But
they're just regular ass handguns.
For sure, and that's true. But I guess my thing with that is that I feel if a weapon that is more destructive, like something that would be easier to kill a lot of people, I feel like that's a weapon that you should probably, similar to getting a car, for example.
Maybe harder to get.
Yeah, it's harder to get.
Make it a little harder to get. I could see that.
We have to take a test to get our cards to drive our car, right? To get a license. Like I feel like for more powerful weapons, you should probably have to take some type of test for that.
It's probably not a bad idea. I think sometimes, more regulations might be helpful, but then people start to argue on the reverse side. Where do those regulations end? You start regulating this, then because soon as people start to feel like you're taking away from their liberties and freedoms, I'm putting up air quotes here.
They'll always feel that way, though.
Yeah, as soon as it starts to get restricted, then it's like, well, now we don't want you having this. Now so people are like, whoa,
yeah, fuck that,
easy.
Yeah, and I get that, right? Because
then it just becomes you're taking my guns.
Yeah,
you're taking my guns.
And the thing is that I can agree with that. I think that's a solid argument. It's like, well, where does it end? It's
a hard topic, like I said, man. It's
because
a hard topic.
It becomes like it's black and white.
Yeah.
The way that they're arguing it is black and white. I can own a gun or I cannot own a gun. That's it.
And
really, what we're arguing is making it gray.
Yeah,
and they don't want that.
There needs to be some middle ground, I think.
Basically, that's what I feel like. That's what they're saying. They don't want a gray area. They want it black and white. I want to be able to own my guns, whatever it is, and that's it. Because if you start kind of navigating that kind of thing where it's like, not this, not this, maybe this. It just gets more and more complicated, and they probably just think at some point it's going to be, we can't own anything,
It's hard, man. And then it's like, who makes the decisions? I guess we do, but then
it should be us.
Then people get lobbied, just get paid off.
Well, that's another problem.
Yeah, so it's like all this shit is systemic,
Yeah.
It's like we could vote, for one person, and then the college vote wins it or whatever.
Yeah,
exactly.
The electoral.
So it's like, what the fuck? I don't vote.
Yeah, you don't?
No, I don't vote. I say, I was going to post this shit on Facebook the other day. I vote for myself every time I clock into work. Every fucking hour I'm there, I'm voting for myself.
Why?
And that's it.
You don't vote because you feel like it doesn't do anything?
I just like to be productive, and it doesn't feel like me going and sitting and putting my thing. And then, I've had a job since I was 18. I've had health insurance since I was 18. I've had a car. I've been able to maintain myself because of me. Mm-hmm. It was Bush at the time. It was Clinton. I don't even know who the fuck the president was.
Yeah, you're saying that their position doesn't have any significance on you.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
But I don't look at it. Mm-hmm. I just look at me and what I'm doing and what am I doing at that moment.
Yeah. To
progress for myself.
Right.
And if I can make enough money to own a fucking helicopter and own an island, well, then that's probably the safest thing I could do.
Honestly, like I can say I don't feel like any of these, because the same. I've lived with my mom and got a job when I was 16, and then I basically had like my own space when I was 18, and I don't feel like I've felt the changes of administration. I haven't felt.
And you have to look at it. It's like the people that look at their taxes on their fucking
pay stub. Yeah.
They're hypersensitive to that shit. Every fucking week. Oh, my taxes, the potholes, my taxes, the potholes. It's like, just relax, man. You got this much money. If you worked a few more hours, you'd get a little more money. And they're going to take that shit regardless. Yeah. And they're going to do with it whatever they want. Mostly send it to the military, from what I understand.
Which, that's funny that you said, because Republicans are so keen on not having, not being taxed. And yet, most of that tax money is going to the fucking military.
Both the sides, to me, it's all the same.
It is. Honestly, I feel the same way. I don't really care. For example, I'm not one of those people that are just like, oh, the world is ending because Trump is our president. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
dude.
He hasn't changed. My life hasn't changed
at all.
Same, same thing. He just likes to tweet. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's a good representative.
He just seems kind of asshole-ish. It's all.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Obama I probably wouldn't want to talk to him, but
Obama didn't seem like so much of an asshole. But I think my dad almost got deported during Obama's.
Yeah, he deported a lot.
He deported more.
So what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
This dude, now my dad's a citizen, which is great. Both my parents are now citizens. Good. My mom did it just because she wanted to vote. Oddly enough, she's like, I want to vote. I'm going to go take my citizenship shit. And she had like a CD in her fucking car to give her all like the answers to learn of all the weird ass questions. Like you have to learn like 100 questions.
Yeah, questions that probably like a Native American doesn't
Nobody
know.
knows that shit. Yeah. Like how many this and that was in the state, and this mom knew fucking all of them.
That's good.
And she showed up and she's like, you know what? Them motherfuckers only asked me 3 questions.
Really? How was it hard? Was it a hard process for her to get her citizenship?
It was expensive. It's always like more expensive than I would imagine your average immigrant has. That's why they just fucking hot borders and shit. Cause I could just come over.
So you were born in the United States.
I was born here. My parents were born in Mexico.
So I guess both of us technically. Well, no, my mom was born in Puerto Rico. My father was born in Cuba, though.
Cuba, yeah.
And he got his citizenship I think before I was born anyway. So I don't think that necessarily matters. But I mean, how did you feel when that whole thing was going down with I guess kind of like them trying to push the whole, Trump against like Mexicans and whatnot?
Again, I think it's all just rhetoric. I mean, it feels bad, right? It's kind of shitty feeling, but I don't think the dude really. I think he was just saying stuff to get landed. He's seen that people wanted to hear that shit.
But that's fucked up though. Like think about that.
It.
There's people that feel that way, that they're.
There's always people that feel that way. I mean, I grew up in the South, so. Here in Plant City, basically. Plant City. Yeah. And not to say nothing bad about these people, because a lot of them accepted me in the end. And, a lot of good friends and a lot of growth there on everybody's part, my part, and people that... But, you hear terms like dirty Mexican and shit like that. And the N-word, like, just fluent.
Yeah.
But I'd go to their house, and they'd have fucking dogs and shit all over just walking all over the ground with dirt everywhere. And I'm like, what the fuck? How am I dirty?
Yeah, why are you talking
You got to take... your shoes off to get into my house, bitch.
Yeah.
And they smelled like Winston's. Everybody smelled like cigarettes. So we had clean clothes because nobody in my family smoked. So I was like, where the fuck does this dirty y'all are?
Yeah.
But, even like the people that I hung out with, my best friends growing up, they showed me how to go fishing. They really accepted me in the family. I could come over anytime. And even the mom said, man, she learned a lot just by by meeting me and my family that their mindset kind of changed a lot because of me. Awesome. I was a lot more disciplined because my mom was a single parent. And I had 2 older brothers, so it was a lot of discipline on them to try to keep me from going astray, which I was squirrely. Definitely. I was squirrely like a motherfucker. Still kind of squirrely, but...
That's such a good way of it. I was squirrely.
I was squirrely, but, I got the belt and shit, and I got backhanded enough times to where it was like I knew right from wrong because there was a snap reaction when some shit went down.
Yeah.
Which is, however parenting, people do different parenting the way they do. But, I really got accepted in that area, and I've, grown, and some of them went down bad routes, and some of them are, doing fine. But it's been a learning experience for sure to be around that kind of
environment,
and then getting it, not just from the American folks, but from the Mexican folks, because I used to skateboard.
Yeah, so they called you gringo and shit?
This and that. So I really excluded myself from the Mexican kids because they were being assholes too, and it seems like the white kids didn't give a shit, Yeah,
that's weird, man. That's a fucking strange place to be.
It is, because it was at the time, like, I just wanted to skate and have fun, and all these Mexican kids wanted to kind of, like, pretend like they're in gangs or claim they're in a gang or this and that. And I was just like, that's silly.
Yeah.
I just want to
Why do that?
Yeah, I just want to have fun, man. And it became to where, like, even in my high school years, I was completely separated from all the ESOL kids, like the English-speaking other language kids and shit.
Yeah, you don't have an accent at all.
I lost it, I guess. My lady says when I'm fucked up, I get it back sometimes.
Really?
Which we could fucking test this shit out.
We should.
Go for it. You can go ham.
We have
bro.
tequila, folks.
That's awesome.
I don't fucking care, bro. Go ham, bro.
That's awesome.
I'm down to see Freddie drunk. I don't think I've ever seen you drunk before.
That's true.
Well, at one time I was at Laura's party doing sound. I got kind of fucked up.
Oh,
and I wasn't feeling good, man.
Oh,
I think they were cooking hamburgers in the dark.
Oh, you think that they?
Oh,
you
that's
think you got
what. They were.
Salmonella
I think it was
poisoning?
hot dogs. Was it?
I don't know what happened.
Laura, you fucked up Freddie, bro.
No, I mean, there was other things involved, but I'm just gonna blame it on the burgers.
I remember. I'm pretty sure I gave you rum.
You gave me rum.
Yeah, it may have been my warm rum.
I don't know what it was, man, but I was legit like clammy and sick at the end of the night. I had somebody help me load my shit, and I was like totally embarrassed because that shit never happens.
That's funny. I don't remember that. That was a while ago.
Little parties.
That was fun.
I think we might have actually no. We were there. We stayed for that whole party.
Yeah, y'all was there. Y'all was around.
Yeah, we were there. Yeah,
it was super dark. I remember just walking around mumbling shit. Emmett was there. He's like, "Yeah, whatever, dude."
Yeah, I think Kyle. That was the time Kyle came in the banana suit.
I was there too. Yeah,
the banana suit. That dude's wild. Yeah, because he's all fucking quiet at first. Then the banana suit comes on.
Give him a few drinks.
And he's fucking wild.
Yeah,
he's crazy.
He's a cool cat.
But it's so like I guess I always get very interested talking to people that are from this area because we're from Florida, but we lived in Miami, and Miami is a completely different culture down there.
It's Cuba, bro.
This is a southern mix here.
Yes.
It's southern, but it's not Alabama southern.
Yeah.
It's not North Florida southern.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of a weird melting pot before you start to get tropical.
Yeah.
Where it's like banana chips and shit.
Yeah. It's plantains.
It's true.
The bananas are still bananas here.
Yeah. It's true.
Now I want some plantain chips.
See,
Dude, I mean, that's Macari. What is it? No. No.
I know exactly what the fuck word you're thinking of.
Mariquitas?
Mariquitas.
Yeah. Have you had mariquitas before?
I don't think so.
So it's basically like the banana chips, but with garlic sauce on top of it.
I've had stuff like that, but I didn't know what it was called.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had I think they call it tontones.
Tostones. Yeah, fried plantains. Yeah,
fried plantains. Oh my God.
It tastes like, oddly enough, it tastes like a tortilla.
Yeah,
to me, it kind of
like a sweeter one, yeah.
It didn't even taste sweet to me. I mean, I guess because it was that green.
Yeah, because once they deep fry it, it gets salty.
But I could see that being the Puerto Rican side of a tortilla.
Because they literally, and Dominicans, they take it and they mash it into a bowl. Mm-hmm. They dump meat in it, veggies, beans, and they serve it to you like that. So the plantain is your bowl.
It's like the carb. It's like the carb of the food.
And that is your bowl, and then you eat the whole thing.
Nice.
And
it's
oh man.
Dude, have you eaten from Tostones, the actual food truck?
I've had from a food truck, and it was very fresh.
Dude, fire.
Tostones is good, man.
It was like on my lunch break, and these ladies parked up by my job. I only had 30 minutes. So I tried it.
I'm going there.
I tried it a couple of times. It was right there, but they were so fresh. It took them like the whole 20 minutes. I was trying to fucking eat like scalding hot fucking bananas. But it was good, you know. It's like pieces of meat. It's completely different from Mexican food.
We just had Mexican food last night, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fucking good, man.
I can get the best Mexican food anytime I want with my mom. I just might have to bribe her. She might be like, $20, bitch.
Really?
She does it
she doesn't have to cook anymore.
Fooling around, you know. She does it full. She'll do it, but she'll be like, hell yeah, $20 shit.
That's funny, man.
We're like that, me and her, because she knows I'm cheap. And I know she likes money, so she likes to fuck with me. You know what I mean?
I think everyone likes money, bro.
I do too, but I don't like to spend on random. I'm not big on TVs. I'm not big on entertainment systems.
You don't have a TV?
We got a TV, but it's like little.
It's a small one.
And my girlfriend's son that lives with us, he's all like right up front to it, like playing, because he's used to these. Everybody's got 75-inch TVs now.
Not gonna lie, we're planning on getting a big.
We want to get a big.
Hey, it's what if you know if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. But me, that doesn't cross.
No,
my
that's
mind,
cool, man. I have a friend who's like that too.
Yeah,
just very like.
I like Bluetooth.
This works.
I buy a lot of Bluetooth. It's
like
weird.
Bluetooth
I buy little. Yeah, I like because I think it's cool.
The better.
Yeah, I think it's cool that there's no longer a cable.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, this is so freeing.
Yeah.
And the quality's there. It's not even that expensive
true.
for the quality.
It's weird how that works, right?
I don't even know how it works. I don't even want to know. I want it just to be magic forever.
It's some shit out of Harry Potter, bro.
Yeah, and you walk away. You can walk away pretty far and it's still connected.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, it has to do with the like receiving frequencies.
Why do you have to ruin it, man?
No,
I'm not gonna go.
Stop.
I'm not gonna go into like major detail, but that's what it is.
He's faking it.
Fake news.
Fake motherfucking news. But I guess we can kind of go into the topics that I wanted to like talk to you about.
Yeah, now that you made me look weird in front of people. With gun violence.
No.
How do you feel about guns?
The first couple podcasts we had were more like we just kind of talked about topics that were going on, you know, which I don't mind. It's actually the idea for the first time that you come on was to kind of do like a mini interview with you. And then the next time you come on, like, and this is for every guest, we're just gonna kind of talk about whatever, you know, it doesn't like it's more of like for promotional purposes.
Get her done, bro.
Yeah,
let's do it.
But I guess so. The first time we met, you were running sound at the market on 7th. That was the first time we met.
False.
Pegasus Lounge.
It's Pegasus Lounge.
Pegasus Lounge.
Boom.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa! Wait, were you running sound there?
I was backup sound for Nathan.
Oh.
There's a dude named Nathan that showed me how to run live sound. Because I had gone to college for studio recording, and they barely touch on live sound.
Okay.
It was kind of a loose program, kind of still gathering its traction, gathering its feet. So they didn't quite, I don't think, know exactly what they wanted to show us.
Okay.
Because it was the International Academy of Design and Technology. So a lot of their stuff was based on design, photography, interior decoration. And I think we were like the 3rd or 4th year of sound engineering, sound recording or whatever.
Yeah.
So they had just tossed in a little live sound.
Was it good?
I enjoyed it. It's $80,000.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm in debt for life.
Damn, dude. 80,000?
80,000.
That's crazy.
I didn't know until my last year. I was just signing fast for shit, whatever. Thinking I'm getting an education, I'm going to get a good job. That's all I thought.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Education, good job. And then I think their last year, she's like, yeah, you know, this and that, blah, 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 talking, $80,000. I was like, hold up.
What?
What? She's like, I think you're up to like $80,000. I'm like, oh shit, I did not know that.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. I mean, I think I'm around that. I think I'm around there too, personally, because mine was around like 26 a year.
It's gonna happen, and if you can't, in my mind, come up with that money before you're done, you didn't try hard enough. So like, I'm trying hard to make sure I can fucking bank.
I like
that
your
shit.
fucking attitude, bro.
I just want to bank it, pay it off, and move on.
Because
you know
that once it's done, it's done.
It's done.
And you move on.
Yeah.
One of my
honestly.
buddies paid it off, and I think he got nothing but loans. But he lucked out, and he became a dubstep artist. He actually signed with Skrillex.
Oh shit.
It's a guy named Kill Paris. I think he's out in Colorado, and he was also doing tutorials for Launchpad.
What's that?
It's a pad.
Like for beats and stuff?
Yeah, for beats.
Oh, okay,
But I
cool.
think it's particularly called the Launchpad, I think.
Oh, okay.
And he made some money off of YouTube, and then he started touring. But he paid his stuff off. I mean, he did work, you know? That kid was a musician from the moment he woke up. Like, I went to go hang out at his place one day, and he woke up, and he would just start making music.
That's awesome.
And he wouldn't fucking... It wouldn't even matter if there's people in there.
What do you mean? Like
he would ignore everybody. He'd just be like, yeah, I'm just kind of doing shit. Like,
yeah. Like, oh, you're hanging out? All right, cool. I'm going to do this.
I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
That was how he did it.
That's cool.
Like, that really, like, it's really about having that focus. If you're going to make it work for you, you got to make it work. You got to, it's, you know, kind of the same thing, you know, with sound or just art. In general, like, just being an artist, you have to sit there and...
It's like anything. Just put in the effort, put in the work. I mean, you can do it over time. Some people do it faster. Some people do it later. I mean, what those guys from... who are the guys with the masks that do the dance music?
Oh, Dead Mouse?
No,
way
back.
Fuck, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about fucking...
Daft Punk?
Daft Punk. Those guys are... I swear to God, they're like in their 70s or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, they're old as shit.
Oh my God, my sister was jamming out to their stuff. And she's 10 years older than me.
Oh,
yeah,
so
yeah.
they just hit like recently kind of
No,
thing?
those guys have been around since the 90s, but I think they were like in their 50s when they got big.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. I've listened to some stuff on them, like some random shit, but I know they were dabbling since the 70s. But they, you know, they didn't start.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they didn't start
like
becoming
making money, I guess.
Yeah, becoming really mainstream till like the Fat Boy Slim, all that shit started coming around in the 90s. Prodigy and this, I don't know a whole lot about it, but
no, until it suited it.
Until it came around and it was like it'll click. But they had masks, so nobody knew that they were old.
Yeah, well, that's a good way to hide that, though. It's smart.
Yeah.
I mean, I would
gimmicks, man.
Young.
Gimmicks are good as the music, I think, because you can have a gimmick
sure.
and it ain't gonna last.
I do feel like that's a thing happening now, where people have to do something weird to stand out.
You don't
like
have
Slipknot,
but
too.
it don't hurt. You know?
I know, but it's I mean, personally. Like, my favorite bands don't do that. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. You just listen to their music and you enjoy that. You get?
I don't care that Tom Merrick is almost 60.
None. I don't either.
I don't care.
Yeah. Well, you know, everybody's different. I think, in my opinion, a lot of it is luck. Being in the right place in the right time, you know, when it comes to music and art. It seems to be like you just kind of got to be in the right position. The right people saw you. This and that.
Well, I think what you're saying too about just doing it.
You do it, and it's like one of them things to where if you're just always doing it, well, then those times where somebody might have saw you, or somebody might have fucking heard you, those are come way more if you're always doing it.
Yeah.
You know, but if you're just doing it here and there once or twice, well, then it's super rare.
I mean, we're talking about probability, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
so if it's a constant stream, well, then anybody could tap into that at any point. But it's just a little spurt, so fuck.
I think like not to take anything away from Daft Punk, I guess,
no, take it away from them.
It's just like honestly though, it's like in my opinion, it's like electronic music in general.
Yeah,
it's like it's going to be easier for people to do it if they don't know what you look like. Right, if you make it all about
true.
your
it's true.
You just what the sounds that you're making because you could just put it out there. But if people had known how old they were, would have worked.
Maybe,
probably not.
Yeah, probably not. Who knows?
Probably not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I just feel like those that party scene, it's all about looking good, looking young, looking hip. And
their look was hip. I mean, they had the cool masks and the glowing things.
You don't have to worry about what I really look like. Yeah. Does this look cool? It does. Doesn't
I got a suit
jam.
And I got dope ass headpieces.
Exactly. So it just jam, and then that works. But otherwise, when you're playing, actual instruments and stuff like that, again, not being not being a dick, but it's. Obviously, I can't do that. I die after like 4 songs if I try to play like drums with a full
a gorilla suit or something.
I die.
Because I think there's a way to do it which is funny. If you do things for like a comedic purpose, I find that cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen bands they'll have. I guess friends or something come on stage wearing some weird shit.
I've seen it too. I've seen all sorts. Like there was a band in Tampa that came in, Nerds Raging. They used to do punk rock versions of like cartoon songs. So,
nuh-uh.
Yeah, you never know.
No.
You can find them. They're cool. I know the guys. But the lead singer would come out in this robot costume. It was called Dickbot. Dickbot 2000 or something, and they'd sing like you remember Ren and Stimpy?
Yes.
Yeah.
They'd sing like punk rock versions of Log. It's log, it's log,
Yeah.
it's big, it's heavy, it's wood. You know, real fast and shit. And they'd like say fuck. Who's the guy that did Transformers?
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay. They'd be like fuck Michael Bay. So it was all just old video game and cartoon based music. But it was like they were all dressed up as superheroes and
That's
this and
crazy.
that.
Yeah, that makes sense though. Like
that makes sense.
That
yeah.
makes sense.
That
Like
makes
that's
sense.
cool.
But
like,
then there's like the band Wolfface that's all dressed up like Michael J. Fox and Wolf, the Wolf thing. I don't know if you heard of those guys.
no, never.
Saint
That's
Pete.
weird. Wolfface.
Wolfface, look them
No.
up, yeah. They all dress up like the Michael J. Fox character from Teen Wolf.
That's
so
so
Gym
funny.
uniform with the fucking.
That's so funny.
So all right, so for a band like that, for example, how does their music sound the same, or do they have?
It's pretty straightforward rock, from what I understand. But I don't know. I mean,
Do you get what I'm saying?
I don't know why
Like,
people do things, bro.
when you and I'm not trying to talk shit or anything. I'm just saying like if our talking.
I like.
I'd ask.
Listen, I'll tell you the bands that I like.
Yeah.
I like you guys. I like that other fucking band that you had the other day.
Viewers like you.
Yeah, because that's the one with
With Vince from
Vince.
Jordan Esker.
I like
Yeah.
Jordan Esker shit too. I
Yeah.
got his stuff.
In the
A lot
car,
of
bro?
this
You
stuff
jamming
I
this
didn't.
shit, bro? You
Yeah,
jamming this
I
shit?
got. There's one song where he's like, "How do I still?"
Yeah.
Yes.
Making my own.
Holy
You like that
shit,
song?
that fucking
I was actually
song's good.
on that song.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. I play
You
lead
jam
guitar.
out to
That's a
that
good song.
bro.
Yeah.
It's got feeling, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck he's
I
saying.
knew who everyone was.
Who cares? It doesn't even matter.
I do love that song. That song's fucking great.
But I like Donna Lou.
I don't think I haven't. I don't think
Donna
have we
Lou-
played with them.
Yeah,
You
we
have,
played
I
with
swear
Donna
you
Lou.
have, but I don't. You know, those guys are kind of a little bit loosey goosey. Like when they do their shows, like some of their shows, they're for a while there they were pretty straightforward, doing shows regularly.
Okay.
But
You
I
mean
think,
like the lineup is changing?
yeah, I think
okay.
there's
Oh.
lineup stuff. There's another band with Success Revenge. I really
I've
like.
heard of them. I
I've
think
never
you
heard of them.
told
I like-
me about them.
Yep, Cruel
Yeah.
Curses. There's some bands
Yep,
that I would
know
just
them.
go see, but I would tell you, I don't know much about the Wolfface guys. I ain't seen them, you know.
Yeah, you've seen them before, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Like again, like Slipknot. That's interesting. That's metal.
Yeah.
And to me personally, I think that sounds like pretty standard
Yeah,
metal.
yeah.
Which sure, there's nothing wrong with that.
But they got
But-
that whole getup on.
But they have the whole
Yeah.
get up, and that's what I think kind of inches them
Maybe it
above
works.
other.
Maybe it works.
above
I mean,
other-
it's like pimps, right? Pimps always wear the bright colors and
So
the
that you
bright,
know
and
that
they
they're the
say
biggest
it's
pimp.
and they say it's to be look like a bird because it attracts the fucking the vision comes towards you. It's like a
Exactly.
bird, you know. You
Yeah.
you flap your wings and you look all bright and shit.
yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know either. I just I mean,
I
it's not a
know.
big deal. It doesn't matter.
For you, it's not gonna work. You're just not gonna go for it.
For me, I think I would do it as a joke, like
Yeah,
you
on
know.
on like Halloween or something.
Yeah, like something like. I mean, I don't know, man. It wouldn't be what we're known for. You get what I'm saying? Like,
it wouldn't be genuine.
Yeah, exactly. It would just be like it's obvious that I'm fucking around right now.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like it wouldn't be like, oh, that's House of Ice thing. They dress up like this
Yeah.
or that. You know what I'm saying?
But I think in general, it doesn't. I guess it can hurt you. I don't want to say it can't, but at least it gets a little more eyes on you. Maybe if you all dressed in one color, maybe all red.
Yeah.
or
Well,
something.
look at the White Stripes.
Yeah,
The White Stripes are a great example of that.
yeah, that's true.
But the thing is that their music didn't stay the same though. Their music, it's not stagnant, in my
Yeah.
opinion, at least. I don't know if you feel that way, but that's the way I feel.
I don't recall. I don't think I heard too much after that one first album. I don't know
Okay.
if it was their first album, but
Okay.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, but I guess like that's what I'm trying to say is I feel that their music
Evolved.
it evolved. Like he had different styles in there. Obviously, it was based out of blues, but he also did he did more folk stuff sometimes.
It was
too.
very folky.
Yeah, so
It was in my opinion childlike, but had substance.
yeah,
So I think everything that can revert people to their simplest forms, which is as a child, I think people will go for it. Nursery rhyme type shit.
Nirvana is a great example of that.
Yeah.
because they literally they said that they were trying to write the simplest music, almost like a nursery rhyme. Like their music was, they would try to do something like that.
Another reason I say that is I was listening to the owner of, I don't know what company it was, but he was talking about the names of companies, how they use a lot of consonants, like Google
Yeah.
or Uber.
Yeah.
And he's saying these words almost sounds like child speech.
Yeah.
Ba ba da da, this and that. You know what I mean? And he's like strong. For some reason, he said strong consonants, which I don't know exactly what a consonant is, but
a consonant.
Yeah,
Isn't a consonant like I O U?
I guess.
Yeah.
But
I'm pretty sure
it kind of made sense that what people would subconsciously want to say is stuff like Google.
Yeah, it's fun to say. Because silly.
Because they grew up maybe making all these fucking random noises. You know what I mean? So like in your mind, you might not think, oh, Google, that reminds me of my childhood, but because your subconscious drives most of your fucking day to day, you wouldn't even know it.
That makes sense.
You know.
And I think, but I also think those words are just fun to say, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like poop.
Yeah.
You know, like
true.
poop is a fun word to say.
It's true.
It's like it's cute and it sounds funny. So I think like that's probably another thing, another factor in that.
Should have named your band Poop.
We do sound like poop.
Sometimes we have to poop.
Everybody poops.
But yeah, back to your original question. I was at the Pegasus Lounge. I think it was like 2010, early 2010.
Yeah.
Or no, late 2010, early 2011.
Was
that
it?
makes sense.
Yeah. Because
when did you graduate high school?
2010, I think.
That's why late 2010 makes sense.
And my memory is always remembering Elizabeth's drum kit.
The Pearl?
No, because it was black on black.
Yeah.
And I remember telling her, I like your drum kit because it's black. And she's like, on black.
Yeah.
It's all blacked out. I was like, yeah, that's dope.
Because that's the first thing I thought when I bought it. So I'm like, this shit looks dope.
It's just black.
Oh, because she had like black toms.
Toms, black, the whole thing was fucking black.
The rim on the drum set, like the actual thing you take off to replace the head, was black too.
Oh. Okay.
So it was just like black on black.
It's like murdered out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if I bought black heads, it would be black on black on black.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
And it was just
because I remember you had that
sick.
for a while. You had like everything was black. Yeah, that's right. That's
exactly.
It's such a sleek non-color.
It is.
I think honestly, I feel like that type of. If I were to say that House of I had a style, it would be that. You know what I'm saying? Like black.
Blackness?
Yeah, just darkness. Because I feel like our music can be very dark and I don't know.
Haunting.
Yeah, it can be. I told I went to dinner or a brunch actually with my family for my birthday, and my sister was talking to me about music, and my nephew was like playing them this and that. And I actually liked what he was playing, and I was like, make him listen to Radiohead, Moonshaped Pool on the way home. Mm-hmm. And my sister instantly goes, is that like Cut Vein? Like, are we going to be like...
You might.
Probably.
I said, kind of. So there's certain songs, like the first song is good. Do the first song. The first song is happy. But it's just, I can relate to that because I feel like we sound like that. So
I personally don't feel that way like about the our music or whatnot, but I can see someone saying, oh yeah, their music is kind of depressing.
Everybody vibes different, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is depressing.
I love sad songs. I love country. I listen to country.
Yeah.
And it's mostly sad shit. And
Exactly.
even my lady's like, why do you listen to such sad shit?
It doesn't make you feel that way though.
No, I just enjoy the melodies. I enjoy a simple melody. I enjoy the fucking chorus, verse, bridge, chorus, fucking system.
You like the Beatles, right?
Nah, a little bit.
We've had this discussion.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I've never been a band guy. I've never been an album guy. Mm-hmm. I've always been extremely fucking selfish with what I like. Mm-hmm. So I like this song. I like that song. I like this song. I might make a playlist of all these fucking songs and forget the rest of the album.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just don't. I'm not one where it's like, oh, you have to listen to the whole album, man.
Yeah.
I just don't want to.
I feel that, yeah.
Like Return of the Mac, that can be my playlist. I don't know any other song by that artist, but I don't care to.
Yeah.
I like that song and that song only, and I can make an entire CD of just songs like that. Like I can just song after song of like, who's this? No idea.
I like the song, though. That song's dope, yeah.
But I like the song, so I'm
it's just how in a lot of ways, I'm that way with a lot of things. Like I like what I like, and I'll cut out all the shit that I don't,
I could rock an iPod shuffle.
Yeah.
I could rock it.
Yeah,
just load the songs and just let it go.
Load it up.
Load it up and let it go. And
I paid for the YouTube Red, and I got playlists on there.
Nice.
It's like on no commercials or whatever.
I have YouTube Red as well.
Yeah, it's not bad. $10, right?
No, it's only $10, and I mean honestly I use it mainly for basically not having to have the video on like while I'm listening. You know
that's nice. It saves energy on your phone. Yeah. And no commercials.
No commercials.
Which is fucking great.
Which because I listen to a lot of
podcasts. It's worth $10.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the podcasts are on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, you can. I have another app, Laughable, and that has everything for free. But typically, the person with the podcast, they'll typically have their ads, like their sponsors.
You're gonna get the sponsors no matter if you don't pay extra for the podcast service.
Billboard does?
No, because he does that on his YouTube as well. But like for example, when you listen to Joe's on Laughable, the episode starts with him going through his.
I fast forward. I fast forward.
Which I do too. But sometimes when I'm at work, I'm not going to stop doing my job to do that. I just kind of go through with it.
Because it's a couple seconds, right?
No, it's usually like 10 minutes sometimes. Especially Mark Maron, that dude doesn't stop. Yeah, he goes 15 minutes of just blabbering before he starts the fucking interview.
Yeah. Okay. Ari Shafir's is like, but he doesn't really do sponsors.
I haven't heard Ari's.
Ari's is good, man. I love his. Yeah, he kind of like his podcast. He'll ask the questions you're thinking to the person. Nice. And he always has he does like a specific topic. So for example, he'll bring someone on if he wants to talk about China. He'll have someone experienced in I don't know, fucking Chinese culture or whatever. So I like that.
Experienced in China.
Yeah, they are China. What is China?
He literally has a country of China come on and
he's like,
speak.
so what's all this shit on my book?
Yeah.
Well, sir, that's China. How come I can't eat on it? Why can't I eat on this China?
That's awesome.
So we met you at Pegasus Lounge, and then I'm assuming
you
now
don't remember.
I don't. But I think I remember that now actually. And then afterwards, you must have gotten us a gig at the 7th then.
Yeah, it was just a couple of shows I think with you guys. I started off there for a couple months, and then Yvonne from the Market on 7th was saying like, "Hey, I'm gonna move to Chicago, and I'm gonna keep booking at the Market on 7th, but we need a fucking sound guy weekend full time."
Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, well, I'll take it. And then he was doing some booking from Chicago, and it was a nightmare. Nobody knew.
He's not here.
Yeah, nobody knew where what their time slots were. Nobody knew anything about it. So I took a gamble, and I was like, let me just try it myself, dude. And
so you basically like told him like, dude, I'm just gonna do this.
Yeah, because he was getting a little kickback for it. He was getting a little bit of money out of it. Like $50. I mean, none of us made a lot of money anyways.
Right.
It's like $50 back towards him, and I was like, well, fuck, I could bank those $50.
Yeah, and you're not even here, dude.
And I can probably give people correct information better here than you can over there. Not to say anything about Yvonne.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Oh, if you're
he
in
was
a
just a little
state,
he was getting married, he was having a baby, he had a lot on his mind. I think he works for Telemundo or something now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's doing good up there. But it was just a situation where I thought I could do better at the moment. I kind of felt bad because I don't want to say I fired him, but I kind of,
You replaced him.
Yeah, I kind of phased out.
You replaced him nicely.
Nicely. And that's how that started. And I just started booking shows, and I was still working full time. I always had the same job.
I loved playing there, man. I'm not gonna lie.
It was a good vibe for a while, and even before me, like it was even better, I think, before me because he had a whole team of people. He had a dude named JC that first started it out, actually, there. Mm-hmm. JC had passed away in a car accident, and then it was Yvonne and his brother. But they had, like, a mound of people that would come up there, like, just on their own, just like regulars, because they got used to the parties and shit that they threw. And then when it came down to me, like, I kind of kept up with it, but it was hard because I was by myself.
Yeah.
So we were hit or miss, but it was still a fun vibe,
Dude, I love playing there, too, man. It was... Like, I was like, oh, they're closing down? What? Why?
Well, once you weren't there, I mean, we didn't.
Well, it was me keeping it up, and then Gino, the owner, asked me to find a replacement. But at the time, he wanted me to kind of pay myself through the door money, which I sort of was doing in a roundabout way, but I was still guaranteed money. Mm-hmm. At some point, he's like, I can't guarantee any money anymore. You're just going to have to just pay yourself through the door. So there would be times where I would book shows 2 months in advance, I think.
Okay.
I would line up the bands. I would make the flyer. I would then, like always, lose 1 or 2 bands throughout the fucking 2 months because shit happens.
Yeah.
I would revise the flyer. I would find 2 other bands. I would promote. I'd make an event page. I'd tag everybody. I'd show up. I'd get my own door person. I'd bring in my own cash from the bank to have money at the door. Mm-hmm. I'd get my own door person, which I had to pay for. I would work sound for 5-6 hours. I'd get there early, stay late, run sound, and not make a single fucking dime.
Yeah, that's hard.
So after like a month of that, I told him, man, I can't do it. So I got out, and he's like, can you find a replacement? Gino talking, he'd be like, can you find a replacement? Do you think you can maybe find somebody? I don't know what you want to do. That's how he spoke. And I'd be like, Gino, what do I tell this replacement? Like,
you're not going to make any money, and
you might. Work? You could.
Yeah.
If somebody could.
Yeah.
Definitively like figure out a way and kick ass at it. But I didn't know what to tell somebody then.
I think I don't know. You'd know more than I would about this, but would it be more conducive to split the drink?
He didn't want to do that.
But that would have probably worked.
He could have.
Like, don't charge anything at the door.
He said, and he told me, nobody's really buying. And it's true, because even working at Beer and Brownies, like, not a lot of people were buying drinks. It's not like a drinking crowd when you have alternative bands, which is mostly what it was, alternative bands.
Yeah.
They're not getting smashed in the crowd.
No,
they're not out there just hammering drinks.
No, they're chilling.
They're chilling and might, bro. When I say might, they might buy a drink.
Yeah.
They might not do shit and just sit there for fucking 3 hours.
Well, that's another thing, too, is that I feel like I've said this multiple times, but I do feel like there's a weird... I think it's growing now, but there's not necessarily a huge fan base for a lot of local stuff. Like, there's not regulars, you get what I'm saying, that just go to a place just to listen to music regardless of who's performing.
There are, I think, at certain places.
Where would you say?
I don't know. I always thought it was in St. Pete. I always thought it was like the beach communities. I always thought it was more like the Bradenton.
They just go out.
Those are people because they're revolving tourists. It's just always tourists there. There's always more people just vacationing there. Yeah. Whereas in Tampa to me is an industrial place.
It's a suburb.
It's like where people work.
Yeah.
People go to Tampa to work, and there's like it's just work. There's Ybor, and there's a bunch of strip clubs.
Yeah. But even then, though, even in Ybor, though, that even like on a weekend.
People go to Ybor to get fucked up. They don't really, if they do go there to see a band, it's because it's like a national act.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, that's, you'll see like a line for like a random band. Most people don't even know. Like, I saw Star Striker or Starfucker or whatever, that band Starfucker, and it was packed at the Orpheum. It was packed, and most of the people, I'm sure, I didn't know them. I went because someone invited me, but
I'm sitting here thinking about it, bro. I want to say it doesn't start locally anymore. I think it starts online now. You create a presence online. Mm-hmm. You somehow get some sort of vibe or culture going behind you online, and then you can start locally anywhere. Whereas like people want to see you from where they saw you online. I think online is like the new TV, right? So if you can get some sort of presence going online, it doesn't fucking matter what your local status is. Like even with me with the pinstriping shit, like I got I think like 2,000 followers on YouTube, which is not big at all.
Well, that's good though.
But yeah, it's growing. I'm working at it, but I've gotten work in North Carolina. I've gotten work here and there. I got people offering me commission jobs through Instagram and stuff. Nobody in fucking Plant City knows shit about me.
Yeah, it's just outside, basically.
Outside, and it's through me reaching the online community, which is global. I'm gonna send some shit to the Netherlands. Some dude won a panel. Like I did a giveaway of some art.
Smarty pants.
I did a giveaway. I've been listening to that Vaynerchuk dude, and he says give shit away. So I'm like, I'm giving shit away.
Give shit away.
Yeah, because people like free shit, and then they'll be like, look what I got, and then people will check out your shit.
It's a good idea. You're giving me ideas right now.
Well, it's like all the hip hop artists, bro. They give all their shit away for the first 3-4 years.
Really?
It's all mixtape.
I didn't even. I swear to God, I haven't heard this.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that. No.
That's how Chance the Rapper and all that.
Technically, we do that, right?
Yeah.
Because you can listen
to our stuff on Spotify. Here's the thing with hip hop is you can nonstop make tracks, fucking 5-6 tracks a week. Yeah. Throw them out there. Yeah. Throw them out there. Throw them out there. Throw them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a numbers game. And out of 1,000 fucking tracks that you've put out there, at least 5 of them are hits.
It's true.
People just get, and then
like
it's
you
like...
said, it's a number thing.
It's a numbers thing. That's how all these fucking 6'9", the dude with the
little,
colorful
little
hair,
this, little that.
They're all just giving shit away, and then all of a sudden somebody picks it up, and it's like, then they start a beef. Oh, fuck Drake, this and that.
Fuck everyone.
Right. I'm the greatest. Then it's like, oh, why are you the greatest? It's like, because these motherfuckers ain't shit, yada, yada. You don't even rap. And it's like, it's just all...
publicity.
It's publicity, but it's a game. They learned how to play it, and now they're making money. And it's like really kind of not about the music. It's fucking hard, man, because you want to be pure with your art. You know what I mean?
So I know that. Because I know it would be easy to make something sellable. I can do that. Like I know what sells. Like I know what to write. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I guess for me it would be more like I'm gonna do what I love to do, and I'm just gonna work hard at it, and then hope that eventually we can
that's
make money
good
off of it.
as long as you're happy with it and you're hopeful of your creation.
Yeah.
And just making it big and all that shit, that really has to be in your mindset unless that's in your forefront. But if that's the case, then you need to fucking work on making it big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because me, I don't know with the pinstripe, I don't know where that's going to lead, but I don't want it to be like a full-time thing, but it's fun. So I'm just trying to make it as big as I can.
How did that start?
Sketching, just drawing shit when I was a kid. And then I did it, actually, the last few weeks of working at the market, I found a page on Facebook called Pinstriper's Garage. And I was like, oh, them lines are kind of similar to what I do. Like, just abstract lines.
Yeah.
It was never a fucking horse or a face or
it was just lines.
Lines, legit. And sometimes I would make them symmetrical, so, one this way, that. So I kind of like, well, that's similar to what I do. So I would submit these drawings to that page. And people were like, why don't you just get a brush, bro? It's easier with a brush. Like, you could do this if you wanted to.
Is it a lot easier with the brush?
It's hard, bro. It's super hard. Yeah, at first, it's, like, ridiculous. But my lady kept offering to buy me this $200 pinstriping kit. And I was like, no, don't do that shit. She's like, I'm going to buy that shit for you. And I just made the leap and invested, like, $50 instead. And... Because I didn't want her to spend, like, my cheap ass is like, don't go spend $200 on something I don't know if I'm going to like.
Exactly.
So I got a few things, and I was like, I was buying and selling a lot of different shit, and, like, had a lot of random loose energy. Mm-hmm. Like, I was trying to find something to grasp onto. And audio, you can only get as good as your equipment with audio. If I don't have access to SSL boards and all this fucking Neumann fucking preamps and all this shit, I will never get good at it. Because nobody gave me the chance to go fucking learn the big shit, the good shit. They never put me in front of it.
You're saying to be a sound engineer for, like, a recording studio?
For, like, for where I can make it my thing.
Gotcha.
So I could never really progress. So, like, I saw this little brush and paint, and it came at me, and I was like, well, I can get better at this here. Mm-hmm. I don't need nothing but this.
Yeah, it's more practical for you, right?
Way more practical. Yeah. So I just started doing more and more and more and more and more and more and just didn't stop. And that's like 3-4 days a week, 3-4 nights a week. Just practicing. I'll put on a movie and I'll practice and I'll just kind of, that's my leisure time.
Right.
But at the same time, when I'm done now, I could sell that fucking thing. Yeah. Or I can make a video and make money off that. You know, it's like backsided money I didn't know could come my way.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you're kind of doing... I mean, eventually, I would imagine you can just make a fucking business out of it. And you can
you could. I just, like, there's a lot of other aspects to it that you have to learn that, like, I'm not super interested because when you go to do a motorcycle rally, they're like, hey, can you put I Love Becky on my motorcycle? Or can you put the Thrasher or some bullshit? I'm not real good with lettering, you know, so that's something I got to practice. Okay. Or, like, I'll tell people I do pinstriping. They say, do you do gold leafing? Which is another... It's like where you lay paint, like a glue, and then you put leaves of real gold. It's real cheap. It's like leaves of gold.
Because it's so thin,
It's so thin. Yeah. And you let it dry, and then you get this piece of velvet, and you turn it. You don't have to do that, but it leaves these, like, wheels all along there. And then you clear coat it, and it's literally gold. Like, you can make designs with it, or you can run it along the side of a car, however you want. Oh, okay. It's gold leafing. You can do whatever the fuck. It's almost like painting, but it's gold. It's real gold. So people ask me that shit, and I just haven't really... I dedicated all my time into just learning the pinstriping designs. I think that's why I got good at it.
But it's good that it's opened up avenues. Like,
it has.
I could do that. I could do that, too. I don't. but I could.
I do, yeah, and I do a little bit of everything. Like I do the audio, I do some corporate audio now. Sometimes I'll get hired on by a band to go do sound. I just don't book anymore because it's so hard to book shows.
I don't blame you, bro. To be honest.
Oh, it's so hard, and then people drop out, and then the owners are like, "Why did nobody show up?"
It's almost like a 24-hour job. You know what I'm saying? Because you kind of doing it at all times. You get what I'm saying? Like there's no moment where you're just not doing that. You get what I'm saying?
It's true because you're always on the lookout for somebody that might draw. Oh my God, you can draw a crowd.
How can I form a show around you or?
How could I form a show around a bunch of 14-year-olds that bring 100 fucking people?
Dude, that's actually funny too.
That's true.
It is true.
Absolutely.
14-year-old kids playing Led Zeppelin will bring more fucking people than a band that's worked fucking 10 years at it.
And playing their own shit.
Their own shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, my God, Johnny played fucking.
He played.
They played
Black Dog.
But that's going back to that whole concept of same thing with the idea we had with Daft Punk of people they just want to see something young, something popping new.
Bro.
Yeah, but Daft Punk is at least original though.
No. I'm not saying that that's the same thing. I'm just saying that that's the idea of wanting to see something young looking.
Art is so subjective and so hard to understand. Who's gonna appreciate what, man? Yeah. There are these simplistic paintings that are just a fucking line or a dot that's worth millions of fucking dollars, bro. Yeah. And then I got people over here telling me that I'm never going to be a pinstriper if I don't learn how to do straight lines, because that's a big thing to be able to do the straight lines across. Like I could do designs, but I have a hard time with these long straight lines.
Why is that hard?
Because they're being like, you need to know all of the craft. They're older guys, older heads.
No human being can make a perfect circle.
Older heads.
Oh, okay.
There's actually competitions on that.
Really?
Yeah,
to make the perfect circle.
There's a guy.
It's so fucking difficult.
There's a teacher. Yeah. I saw a thing where like a teacher practices it in front of the kids, and he just fucking hits it, and it looks perfect. But he's like, I do this shit. He's like, there's competitions for it.
Dude, that's like crazy. A thing. Human beings can't like literally
it's like what's perfect because it's subatomic. Like you start to break it down.
No, there's such thing as a perfect circle.
You start to break it down.
Mathematicians will be like, that's not a perfect circle. You know what I mean?
That's fucking crazy, dude. I've never heard of that before.
That's a thing, yeah.
But to me, like art and commerce, anytime art and commerce meet, somebody's gonna get their fucking butt hurt.
Yeah,
it's true.
Because somebody's making money off some shit that somebody feels like is worth more. Somebody didn't get enough. It's like, it's hard, man.
You have to not care.
It shouldn't mix, but it does.
It does.
And it's like, at least if you made something, well, fuck, that is nice.
I mean, but that's the thing, too. I think, I have no expectations of being a millionaire at all. If I were to, my goal would be to quit my job and just tour. And make enough money to do that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You can. Yeah. There's just I don't know how the fuck to go about it, but there's got to be ways to do it.
I mean, there's bands that literally I like. Have you heard of North by North?
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, so it's just a girl and a guy and I think
that's easy. There's no overhead.
Yeah, so no overhead, right? They bought like a traveling van.
She keeps the money.
I don't know if they're. I'm sure they're. Probably. Yeah, they have to be together.
Ellie's like, yeah.
But yeah, so
that's how it fucking work here.
Because I asked her about it. I asked her, how do you what do you do? How do you get all these shows? I mean, do you have a job?
In my opinion, when it comes to like people that do that, they rely on a community.
Oh, for
They're
sure.
not self-sufficient most of the time.
I mean,
they're
I'm
like,
sure...
hey, can I stay here? Like, if you're cool with being a community-based situation where you can hop couches and this and that and this, from what I see, from what I could tell.
Right.
It's like a community of people that take care of each other. It's like, oh, well, I could get you to your next spot. Maybe you can get me next time I come through, this and that. And then there are the cover bands that make money just doing cover songs.
Right.
Those are people that play forever, but then they get this like hard fucking heartache from doing cover songs.
Yeah. Because it's not
that's so bad.
It's cool, but you're
true.
kind of like profiting off of someone else's.
You are, but
art.
it's almost then it is a job. It's almost soulless. And then there are the funk bands that do their own music, and they're like always doing the kind of like the coast, the beach communities and shit. So they'll do like reggae and funk and jam.
Yeah.
They'll throw in a couple of covers, but they do quite a bit. But you know what people say to them while they're doing their originals?
Do you know that one?
Do you play some fucking Bob Marley or whatever?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's there's nothing that not that it bothers me a lot, but that is a frustrating thing to hear. Like when you're like, it happened to us literally the last time we were playing. That some lady was just like, "Do you know this?" And you're just like, "What?" Oh, she asked me if she asked us if we knew any REM.
REM.
And I was like,
what's the
we're not doing that. We're doing fucking originals.
Freebird.
Yeah.
People think they're so cool when they do that, and they're just not.
It's the thing to do. You're in the South.
Oh,
you know what I always say? Learn a badass fucking version of Freebird and shut the motherfuckers
dude,
up.
Dude, exactly.
I've
told him that a million times. I was like, dude, let's just learn it.
You can jam your own version of Freebird. Make it a short 2-minute set.
Yeah.
The moment that person says that, you just rip through it, bro.
That would
That'd
probably
so
get
badass.
us a lot of fucking attention.
Turn it super heavy.
People would start fucking recording.
Turn it into the heaviest thing you can make, man, and just make it something else. And
we just make it trippy. I think that would fit our style
better. Make it trippy, and it is. It's a space. It's a spacey song.
Dude, like every single part of that song, you could do like just about anything to that song.
Just keep the formula.
Works.
Yeah,
exactly. I would say do it. As soon as somebody says that, should
and just
flick them off and start.
We played
that would
with
be so epic.
Remember when we did a battle of the bands back in Miami?
I remember that.
Yeah, and a band like they had. I feel like they planted this person, but they planted a person to say that, and then they played Freebird, which was cool. They did it really well. Like it was dope.
It was a setup,
but it was a setup, and I was like, that's not as cool.
I'm gonna make sure my phone is off. I was just thinking about that.
No, but like, dude,
fine,
if someone actually like did that and we could rip through it, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
I'm actually one of those like I don't know what you would call it, but like when I learn covers, I want to play it like. Exactly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I always slow mine down because that's all I ever learned was covers.
Yeah.
And my joke when I would go perform was like, I know I'm only going to play covers because I couldn't find originals on Ultimate Guitar Tabs. Did I
used to use that too all the
Everybody
time.
does.
Yeah.
Not now because it's full of ads. It's fucking hard to use.
Oh.
You go to click on there. It's like ad. It's like, man, I just want the tabs.
That's funny. I haven't used that.
That's because you're writing originals.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Could I bother you for a beer?
For sure, bro.
Are you bothered?
I am. I'm.
Can you bring me one too?
I'm really bothered.
What happened to the tequila? You took the tequila away.
The little gents wanted some, man.
Okay.
Yeah, the of age gents. You mean?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all took our tequila.
But I will say it's back in Miami we never made a lot of money. Like in general, playing originals, and I feel like up here that's a different story now. I feel like we don't need to play covers anymore because we make at least we make more money than we ever have.
Oh really?
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, like surprisingly enough, I guess I won't discuss the exact amount we're making, but we're playing in Miami. Now the community's starting to like thrive now, I guess.
Now you're gonna move back.
Well, no, I'm definitely not gonna move. Well, Kenny lives there actually. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I know. But he's going to school.
Yeah.
He's going to school for some heavy shit, too.
Yes, for physics.
That's crazy, bro.
I know.
I like talking to him about it because he's kind of like, his mind switches over.
Yeah. You can see that.
Yeah, and
like,
that's cool to see, man.
He's like in the clouds kind of when you're just normally talking to him.
It's hard to understand because I know you guys are like a family with the music, but, you know, it's nice to see that he's moving forward and his mindset's on something. You know, I don't know if you guys are still jamming or whatever.
Oh yeah. What do you mean, like playing music?
Yeah,
together?
playing.
Oh yeah. He
comes
up a lot.
Yeah, because I remember there was a time where it was like a little bit hit or miss with that, but still, it's nice to see somebody learning something that they're happy with. You know, it's cool.
I think I had the idea before that he wouldn't be committed to the music at all, right? Yeah. And then I realized that I was being very selfish.
Yeah.
And I think I also just matured.
Yeah.
And I realized like
it's hard because it's like your brother, man. That's your brother in music,
yeah.
and you can feel it when you guys sing together. That
yeah.
It's always hard to, but you know, even if it was the situation where like he had to move on, you never know, man. The next one might be cool
and
too.
And honestly, that's one thing that it would suck. But I think what I would do, I would just start another thing. I do have other projects.
Yeah.
Like I have the one with him, for example, and then I have another one with my other best friend.
Oh, true.
So
yeah, just to keep it real, move forward.
But the thing is, like before, I was so beholden to stick to this, like literally put all my efforts into this. And then I just realized it made no sense. It really does make no sense.
Just like you said, it's hard. Change is hard for people to understand.
And I think that's another thing.
But to be open to different paths, like again, even to go back to the podcast, one of the reasons it kind of clicked because I started listening to this shit and heard it when I started doing the pinstriping shit. Mm-hmm. That everybody's got different paths within themselves. Yeah. Even though I wanted to be a full-time sound engineer, I focused on it. I went to school for it. I spent money 4 years, 10 years of fucking doing the shit or whatever. That was my mindset. Yeah. And that was what I wanted my title to be. But then I got to where I was thinking, maybe that's not what's important to me. Yeah. Maybe like other things are important to me, and I could be whatever and see where it takes me. Mm-hmm. So like I've been working at a warehouse for 8 years, and honestly my mindset there is now.
Grazie.
Thank you very much. My mindset now is that it's a blessing that I have that job and I'm able to do all these other things with my vacation time. And I've learned that a lot of what is important to me is just kind of financial independence. Yes. I like to be to where I don't have to ask people for stuff. Mm-hmm. That's why I got 2 cars. Like one of them's I'm going to work on tomorrow. Dude.
That's so funny. What's the other one? I'm sure I've seen it, right?
I got a Buick LeSabre and a minivan.
The minivan. Aren't you trying to sell that right now?
I tried, but
he's gonna pop open that beer.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. Yeah, it's time to take a drink. No, I'm trying to work on it and see what happens, man. It's just I put some money into it. I'm trying not to lose that money. Yeah. But it's just I'm just now open. Fuck it. If I end up doing what you do. Cleaning water or whatever it is you do. Like that's my like simplistic version of what you do.
That's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good, I think.
If I clean water and I'm happy cleaning water, well then that's where I'm at the moment. Yeah. Fuck sound engineering. Fuck pins. I'm just trying to be open to where I'm at.
But what do you want? Like what if you could have your dream job, what would that be?
I have no idea. Because I'm just happy being busy.
I see.
I'm just happy, like when I'm loading trailers at my job. You're happy. I'm pretty cool with that.
I mean, dude, honestly, like if that's the case, then you're set. You know what I'm saying? Then that's great.
My dream job, it's just I don't have one in my mind anymore. Like thinking that I want to work with sound. I love working with music. I just don't see it as a possibility like that. Yeah. And then there's struggles within that too. Like dealing with. People's visions, people's personalities, the fucking gear, the time, the effort, like, and then I don't know, like maybe my heart's not so much into it like it used to be. I don't know.
That could be what it is. If it's not viable, it makes sense that it kind of strays you away from it. Yeah. If it's not something practical and like I'm ready to go. Yeah. It is what it is.
And now I look at it more as a practicality in the sense of it's some spare cash when I need it, and I don't dislike it. When I go run sound for a band, I still think it's cool to be able to manipulate it the way it should be. Yeah. And enjoy the music. And the corporate audio now that I'm doing, like I set up sound and stuff for doctors' conferences. It's with a company called Lucas Productions. I like that shit. I mean, they're just talking. But we set up all this pipe and drape the background. Mm-hmm. And we set up the speakers. We set up the projectors. To me, it's new. Yeah. I see a lot of guys that have been doing it forever, and they're like, fuck another conference. Like, they couldn't care less about doctors talking. But, like, I'm, like, listening about sleep apnea again. I'm like, fuck yeah.
I mean, so it's funny. So, let's say, for example, like the Joe Rogan podcast, right? Like, his sound engineer, literally, I mean, I don't know what else he does, but that's, like, his main job. All he does is he runs the podcast for Joe.
Probably, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's a sound engineering job. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that's an example of maybe, I don't know what his life has been like.
Yeah, an extent of a sound engineering
job. Who knows? Maybe that's a fucking realm that you can
That could be one of his gigs. That could be one of his gigs.
I mean, he honestly, definitely makes money off of that, for sure.
I like having a plethora of things going on.
Exactly.
I think that's where I'm happiest. Like, if I once went to a damn, what's it called? An auction for, storage units, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
I could see you being into that.
I was like, "This is an option." I only bought a bike from a lady and flipped it for like $50, but I don't know. I just like being in the mix and doing stuff.
I could totally see you doing that, dude.
I just heard that it was gonna happen on one day, and I went. And it was cold.
Imagine being able to make money and literally have just 6 different options. That sounds amazing.
As far as money?
Yeah. I could go here, or here today and make money somehow.
Listen, I'll go to Goodwill and I'll find these really nice like tote bags rolling bags from Goodwill, and I'll get them for like $6. Now I know for a fact the guy that fixes computers in town loves them things. So he puts some tools inside of them. I'll get it for $6. I'll send him a picture, and he's like, "I'll give you 30 for it."
Yes,
I'll run it over to him. I make $20. Like,
well, that's funny. It's like my sister and brother-in-law. They have a business where they buy vintage furniture, and they treat it. I guess is what it's called. They treat it, and then they sell it for way more than what they put into it. And it's a business.
Better.
Yep. I mean, they're making money. Like,
there's money in everything, and I just like the grind. Like I like the changing hands, and I like the finding and figuring out, and a little come up here and there in any sense that I can, And then like the whole pinstriping shit again is like it's just a little added value that I was able to do something creative,
do something different. Yeah.
Like I bought these little Darth Vader piggy banks at the dollar store. And I pinstriped them.
I think I saw this.
And I sold them for $50 each.
That's fucking dope.
$3?
$50. I sold them for $50.
That's fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
I'll show you a picture.
Oh my god.
$50.
That's awesome.
I mean, there's little things like I buy sunglasses for $6 and I'll sell them for $20 when I go to do a car show.
Yeah.
I'll set up a bunch of little things.
That reminds me
earrings and shit.
of Parks and Rec. He's like Tom. He's like, I bought this jacket and I had this scorpion put on it.
Yeah.
And now I'm selling it for $200. You can't do that. He's like, I can. Do you want it? Like, he's just like, I can.
You can. Somebody will buy that shit.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Someone is going to buy it. So.
When I sell some things, like if I'll go to like an area where there's like artisan ladies around, they're like, that's way too cheap.
Really?
Yeah. Because in their shop, in their artisan shop, that'd be $300 all day. Whatever the fucking case may be.
Jesus Christ.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Because they're like, well, they got that white lady fucking swag. You know what I mean? White old lady swag.
That
is
white
like,
privilege swag.
Yeah,
baby.
they're like...
That
like,
WPS. That should be a T-shirt. WPS on the back. White privilege. What is it? White privilege swag. God damn it. I've had one shot in a beer and I'm already.
They just got it, bro. They're like, well, this is from
that's ridiculous.
Carolina, deep in the wilderness of, you know what I mean? Like whatever the fuck they come up.
Asshole.
And they sell it to some other white lady, and they're like, "Fucking look what I got from." Well, here's the thing: the people that got the money want to spend the money.
It's true.
Yeah.
They want to say, "Bro, you can't touch this. I paid $10,000 for this.
Yeah.
You can't touch me."
Literally, there is not a single watch out there that looks like this. By the way,
Yeah, exactly.
and I paid $10,000.
You know why? Because it's scratched. Because I dropped the bitch as soon as I got it.
It's true.
It's one of a kind.
Like, for real.
Well, that's the one thing like I could say with the things I paint is they are truly one of a kind. See, nobody will find.
I saw those.
Nobody will find a fucking piggy bank that looks like that. Nobody ever in the world.
So
It's
true.
fucking cool.
Yeah,
That's
looks
trippy
dope,
as shit
dude.
too.
Those are good colors too.
Yeah, I like.
Before I
purple.
forget to mention this, I think Yanni is looking for vendors for.
I saw that and I thought about it. Only
Should do
thing,
it, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you have?
You could sell your shit there, bro. That'd be
Yeah,
dope.
what do you
I could. Well, here's the thing. Like for me, the whole pinstriping thing, it's a hot rod or motorcycle thing. It's not like
I see. It might not work for that vibe.
yeah,
I
it's not
guess.
like just a random person.
I
They're
was
gonna be like, "What
actually-
is pinstriping?" But when I go to a motorcycle show, they're like, "That's hard."
Yeah.
They know what that is.
Exactly. Like I get exactly what you mean. Like it'd be worth going to one of those things.
Yeah.
Like it is. What
'Cause
it
they-
is.
You really think about that stuff, huh?
I don't want to go waste my time.
Yeah, that make
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, you think
But-
you really putting thought into that. 'Cause
If
that
somebody
wouldn't be
showed
thought
up there
about.
like my buddy Josh, my buddy got his own business making pins.
Yeah.
Literally
That's it,
making
pins.
enamel pins.
Wow.
He's quit his fucking job. He's making more money than he's ever made selling enamel pins.
What
Would
what
work.
kind of pins?
Fucking pins, bro. One of a dinosaur,
put 'em-
one of a triceratops.
fucking pins.
Don't overthink it, dude. They're
It's
just
a pin.
pins.
It could be a bowling ball. It could be I swear to God, he's got one of a cat. And he makes money. He sells them. I think he buys them for like $5 and he sells them for like $10.
$5 like a pack. Like
Yeah, I don't know. It's cheap enough for him,
Yeah.
but he makes money, and he's always hitting the little
hysterical.
markets. He's got a little briefcase, and then he's just constantly grinding the shit out. And he also offers his services to companies and breweries. Like you want to pin your brewery logo, and he'll make them and sell it to them and shit. Like he's hustling shit. He's been drawing and doing comics since he was a little kid. So again, this is a long process. Process.
You know what you could? I mean, I don't. This is just I'm just saying, but you could you can pinstripe things. I mean, I don't know how hard this would be, but you can pinstripe things that are like, I guess that those type of people would enjoy. You get what I'm saying? Like, for example, like a Rick and Morty thing, dude. People will go crazy for that.
That's I've thought about stuff like that.
Yeah,
like what's it, counterculture? I don't know what the fuck the word is. Culture.
Yeah,
the culture. Yeah.
That's why I did the Darth Vader thing, because everybody likes Star Wars. I don't fucking like Star Wars.
You don't?
No, it's overrated like a son of a bitch.
The fuck,
I'd rather watch Ghostbusters or anything from the 80s.
Do you like
I like the
Star
newer
Trek?
Yeah, I like Star Trek. I like a little bit of all of them, right? I'll watch a new Star Wars movie and enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm not like, I fucking remember the 5th.
Yeah, you're saying you're not crazy about it, basically.
Yeah.
May the 4th.
May the 4th. Get the fuck out of here. Get fucking 4th.
Oh man, you're gonna get some hate from that, bro.
May the 4th. Fuck you.
May the fuck you.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's funny.
I just ain't into that shit. I ain't into most shit, to be honest. Like.
No, but that like literally when you were talking about that, I was gonna ask you like, what kind of merch do you have? And I think that like what would help you is just constantly.
I need to get a logo. I got a guy that's gonna make me a logo.
Logo is good. Go to like thrift stores. Make that your thing. You go and you look for stuff and whatever.
I do it.
Whatever
just,
draws your eye. And
again,
and then you put it online.
I do vintage if I find a vintage purse.
It's instantly like profit.
But I'm growing kind of the brand slowly, and I did try that to begin with. Like I was like on Etsy or whatever, but there was no people searching me or trying to figure out who I was. It's just too early. So I'm like slowly growing my presence to where when I do roll it out, I'll be able to sell the shit.
Instagram is like the best. I'm sure.
That's where I'm at. Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram.
YouTube's been a little better actually. And here's the thing.
How is that? How?
I'll tell you exactly how.
Yeah, how? Tell me.
And I hate to even. It's a good thing we're fucking an hour in because I don't think any pinstripers are listening.
Yeah, an hour and 20.
An hour?
It's nothing.
Yep. I don't know.
Yeah, an hour and 20.
What's your average one?
Double this.
We've done a lot.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We're drinking.
Yeah.
Easily.
I should have brought beer. I feel bad.
No, man. No, you're a guest, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So I've looked up pinstriping from the moment I started on YouTube, on Facebook, online, on Google, and it's so sporadic. It's so many fucking... This guy's got 5 videos 10 years ago. This guy's got 1 video 2 years ago. This guy's got 20 videos that haven't been updated in God knows how long.
You're just keeping your shit like consistent, basically.
Nobody kept up with a page. And if they did, it was like, this is my brush. Buy my brush. Or, this is just me doing a design. Well, look at me do a design. It was very, very like just not thought out. I'm putting shit out to where I'm like, this is why I'm doing this. This is how you would do this. This is what this brush is compared to this brush. This is my opinion on this particular paint.
It's detailed.
It's extremely detailed.
That's good.
It's ongoing forever.
That's cool.
I'm going to start... I keep thinking of things like while I'm working, like I could interview pros. I could interview professionals.
Yeah.
And 5 minutes with a pro. 5 minutes with Steve Kajewska or whoever. And a lot of these guys are super accessible because it's still underground. It's not like tattooing. Tattooing's blown up.
Get on it, dude. Just do it, dude.
I'm not stopping. Yeah, I'm not stopping. So I do like simple pinstriping designs. I have a series of simple pinstriping designs. That could be endless. And people could just follow my strokes and it'd just be a simple design. Yeah. Where it's like, you can take it wherever you want.
That's cool, man. That's good. That's smart.
And it popped into my head. And there's like, and then there's like how to a brand new brush. What do you do with a brand new brush? Some people don't know. How do you preserve the brushes? You got to dip it in oil. What type of oil do you use? Yeah, what type of oil? I use motor oil, but I've been getting so much shit because that's old school. People say don't use motor oil because it fucks up the hairs.
So what are you supposed to be using?
Mineral oil or knees foot oil.
Knees foot?
Knees foot. It's like made from the hoof of a calf.
Oh.
What?
Basically, it's an animal oil, so it's more...
It's made from what again?
The hoof of a calf, I think.
So it's more organic?
More organic because these brushes are made out of squirrel hair.
Wow. Dude, you're squirrely, bro.
Squirrely.
Dude,
taking it back.
There it goes, bro.
It's full circle. Squirrely.
That would be a funny t-shirt just like for pinstriping.
Make it yourself, bro. I'm squirrely.
Like pinstripers are all squirrely. Like this brush is made from squirrel.
But nobody's thought. There was one dude in England that kind of has an airbrush pinstriping channel that has been pretty good, but is mixed media. Sometimes he works on a motorcycle and he builds a motorcycle and that's part of his thing. But mine is strictly pinstriping. I'm not gonna dick in with any lettering, no fucking, nothing.
Yeah.
Strictly pinstriping, and I'm gonna keep going until it's. In my mind, one day, there's gonna be like an Ink Masters for pinstriping.
Oh, I get, yeah.
In some fucking form or another, because there's Monkey Garage, what's it called? The Car Garage, something, Monster Garage. There's counting cars. There's a lot of car shows.
Yes.
Definitely, I know that.
I've been seeing.
You go to the History Channel.
Exactly. I've been seeing videos go viral for hand lettering.
Really?
Yeah, people are mesmerized by hand lettering.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of weird things like that.
I've seen it on paper though. I haven't seen it on cars.
It's lettering can generally used to be for signs, for old school signs, but people are going back to these hand painted crafts because it's been computerized for so many years now. Since the
people
plotter,
don't want it.
People are like, "Fuck a banner! I'd like to get this hand painted."
Yeah.
And really laid out. Now it's going back. Yeah, it's going back to the original.
Yeah,
thing.
and I think like what you were saying is there's a weird thing happening.
It's a craft
where people are enjoying the process of doing
beer.
Something. Yeah,
that wasn't big in the 90s.
Well,
it was all Bud Light and fucking Budweiser and Michelob.
Anything that's original, anything that's antique.
Now it's
stuff.
like Now there's like a million people that are saying, "I make this beer."
Yeah.
That's handmade leather. People are like, handmade leather's big now. All this handmade shit. So I think a lot of things are circling around the custom paint world. Mm-hmm. That I think one day there will be at least a small focus on pinstriping that will go mainstream, and people are gonna YouTube that shit.
Do you remember those shirts where they would have really famous characters, but they would make them look really ghetto?
Oh, yeah.
Did that ever happen up here? Where it would be like Bugs Bunny, but he would have a cap on backwards.
That was big.
Chain
that was
smoking weed.
That was a hip hop. That was people making their own shirts in New York that came down here.
Dude, honestly, that was so huge.
It was airbrushing.
How would I not want to be part of that? If I were in that kind of realm, I would want all of that. I'd be like, I could have made so much money where I'd retired, and now that it's coming back, I'm like, I'm gonna just make money off of that.
I know a guy that still airbrushes stuff, like the letters, for. Some kids' parents wanted to make a bunch of soccer things for his kid. And he'll put the name and hand. He's always done that shit, the airbrushing. But it comes in waves, and that's where some of the guys that are digging deep into the pinstriping shit. I'm gonna be a pinstriper for life. Wait till the recession kicks in, motherfucker. Because you never know. Art's great when the market's up.
Yeah. Exactly.
When the market's down, fuck your art. They're not worried about that shit.
That's the first thing that goes.
Art, entertainment.
I think, for example, us. I feel that, our we're in a recession right now. Bands. I feel like bands are in a recession. Especially the music that rock music.
Yeah.
That's in a recession. I feel like everything.
Hip hop's big, but it's blowing up. Yeah. It's getting bigger and bigger. Eventually,
it's that bubble that's gonna burst, and then it's not gonna work anymore.
But you see people I don't know, the Alabama Shakes. Mm-hmm. You see resurgence of some good shit.
They've been around for a long time, though.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
He's been saying that. I mean,
the whole time, brother. It's a lifelong thing.
Have you heard of Chicano Batman?
No.
Oh, dude, check them out. It's I think the majority, and I'm not saying this because you're Mexican, but they're.
Yeah, you are.
But the majority of the band
is son of a bitch.
The majority of the band.
You ever seen Chicano Batman?
I didn't even think of that. I literally didn't even think of that word.
Like that.
I didn't even think.
He has a bandana on now, you guys.
It's true.
Chicano Batman.
I see him.
No, I didn't even think of the fact that word is Mexican. But there's four of them. The drummer's Colombian, and the other guys are all Mexican. Uh-huh. And it's kind of like Alabama Shakes, but with a Mexican twist.
Oh, it's heavy shit.
No. It's blues, but it's
No, but
to me, Alabama. When I say heavy, I don't mean like metal.
Oh, okay,
I just mean it's heavy.
Chicano Batman is heavier than Alabama Shakes.
Oh, dope. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because there's heavy shit that's melodic that's not metal at all. I just feel it heavy. It's got a fucking intense.
Alabama Shakes, Chicano Batman is you could play that at a party. You can have it and people will
vibe to it.
Exactly. Cool. Alabama Shakes, I think, would be too mellow. At a party.
And they get spacey sometimes.
Exactly, which is fine, but at a party that wouldn't work, right? So Chicano Batman is
parties depends on the party.
It's true, but
a party with us, we'd be chill.
It don't matter, yeah.
Chicano Batman would be perfect, but you get what I mean, right?
I guess Batman, not really, actually.
He's like, no, not at all.
I don't get.
He doesn't want to say. He's like, not at all.
Chicano Batman is social. Alabama Shakes is a little bit too mellow.
I don't know.
If you're
get on that mic, son.
Wow. Hi. Hello. Hello.
That is a very directional mic because you could tell when you get off of it.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah. That's what
So right here?
No.
Right here.
Yeah, there you go,
right
buddy.
Here. Right here.
Jesus Christ. But they sing songs. They also have songs in Spanish, which I think is fucking cool because that's like not a common thing.
No, you're right.
Yeah, and I like that a lot.
And I've thought about doing some of my videos in Spanish because I'm getting kind of worldwide attention. Like I said, I think my last panel went to Finland or something. I don't even remember where the fuck I sent it to, but this time I was like, you guys got to pay for shipping if it's out of state or out of U.S. Yeah. It was only $20, which ain't bad, but I don't want to lose money.
No, for sure.
But this one's going to go to Norway. One of the winners won in Norway. So I got art going to Norway.
That's fucking dope, man.
It is nice to think about that. I got stuff in England, Norway. I got stuff all over the U.S.
If I could say that, I would be very happy. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, it's one thing hanging in somebody's living room.
You're so fucking. You're just like so humble. Like he's just trying not to brag or whatever.
Oh, I'm giving it away. It's not like they bought it, you know. But it's cool that they're watching, and I got people like in Sweden paying it. It's just like it's such a niche thing, you know. So like. There's not.
I guess what I'm trying to say is like the fact that somebody literally so far away is paying attention. Like that's fucking cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
And I gotta admit, I got some style to it, to where I can see where it's cool looking. Mm-hmm. You know, I think I probably would have been amazed when I first started. Like, how does he do that?
Yeah, yeah.
But now as I'm into it, it's to me all I see is flaws, and I just want to get better.
It's funny that you say that because I feel the same. Like I'm kind of like Kenny and I mixed the majority of the album.
Your albums sound good though.
Thank you.
And they sound good on like car anywhere you put them.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yep.
So like that is something that it's kind of the same idea where I hear my flaws or our flaws or whatever like mixing wise, but I would do the same thing. I would be like, oh, how did they do that? You know what I'm saying? Like mixing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, how do they do that? And now that I have like my tricks or whatever to doing that. Now I'm just like, oh yeah, it's not like a big deal. It's just this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know if I'm explaining myself.
No.
I think it's more of the whole process of making an album is very specific, and it begins with even the mic that you're using.
Yeah.
And it's so complicated, honestly, that comparing that, you have no idea how many hours we spent in a car listening to our songs.
No, you're right. And then you've lost perspective because you've heard it so many times.
Yeah.
So you really got to walk away from it for a fucking month.
Dude, like there is no way that it's going to sound anything like that until we have those mics. Yeah. Until we have that space. Like it really is a whole thing. Like a.
Do you send out for your masters?
Spectrum, dude.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
You can't master it yourself.
No.
Because you're gonna fuck up.
Yeah.
That's probably where.
I don't understand what.
So a master is okay. A master is basically getting it up to level, up to the right. It's almost like turning
decibel?
It's almost like turning up the volume, but it's more complicated than that because what it's really doing is compressing the waves. Right? You got waves that are going like this. They're all loosey-goosey. Mm-hmm. This shit compresses them, which makes it more powerful. Then you bring up the volume on it. So now you have this...
Because it's even.
Yeah, because you've cut off basically the highs. You've cut off
the super lows.
And the lows, and you've made them... It's like you've grabbed this beer and you squeezed that motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then
like
you made it bigger.
Like a bush that you've trimmed on the top, on the...
yeah.
And then it's just...
And there's just more foliage in there. But now you've raised the level on it, so now it's louder. Mm. It's actually louder.
Right.
But they also fix some EQ. They fix some things to make it sonically similar to everything else. That way, when it comes on, it's not like a big change. You're like, oh my God, why does... Because you've heard mixes where you turn on the radio... Way different.
Yeah.
And then you put on your CD and it's like, what's going on here?
I guess the word would be cohesive.
Cohesive.
The whole album is cohesive.
It makes it cohesive to itself and to the industry standard, which is over compressed in my opinion. But
right.
Whatever.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. It depends on what you're going for. Because I think that like our album isn't over compressed in my opinion, at least.
You almost have to be. Like everything has to be over compressed just to be level wise competitive.
Yeah.
Or else it's going to be quieter than everything else, and people are going to notice that shit.
Yeah,
like,
if it comes on the radio, yeah, for sure.
Why is it quieter? It has to be. And people, I think, when it comes to the radio, it gets mastered for the radio separately.
Yes.
Usually.
But that's funny to me because I feel like the radio is obsolete now. I don't feel like.
It's
I don't know.
It's getting obsolete, but that's because me and you and Ellie, we're musician people, like, and we're kind of a little bit more. But your average teenager, your average mom, still
listen to that shit. Yeah.
And I think a lot of, I mean, I've always said it before. If you can fucking market to the teenage girls, you've made it.
For sure.
That's the money.
Think of 50 Cent's Party in the Club. Mm-hmm. That song will sound exactly the same. Like that's it. No matter when you listen to it. Where it's just like, I feel like the 60s sounds older and older, weirder and weirder.
Yeah, quieter.
The further we go, like it's just like no one's gonna
back in the
understand
day, they would mix all the drums on one side and all the organs on the other side and all the vocals on it. They would literally 50-50 everything.
You're saying mono? The mono stuff?
It wasn't mono, it was stereo.
But
if you were to go like this and lift up fucking one of your headphones, you were just hearing drums.
Yeah.
And then you come here, you guitar and vocals. Like it was left and right.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know, where now you have a spectrum because it's digital. It's not two fucking sides of a tape.
Yeah.
That's what it was back then. It's like the left side of the tape or the right side of the tape.
Yeah.
What do you want there?
Yeah.
You know, so they would have to mix it accordingly.
Yeah.
So if you do go mono and you listen to a Hendrix, you're just going to hear reverb, I think.
Yeah.
The reverb of the guitar?
It's not going to sound
because the
like
guitar's
the
on one
song.
side and the reverb's on the other side.
Oh, wait, but how do they do that?
No, but
They run the reverb to the other side, and that's where.
Yeah, but how do they do that?
I don't fucking know. It's physical at that point. It's not digital. Like we're faking it digitally.
Yeah, exactly. But
they physically are pressing sound into tape.
So, but what I'm saying is like, do they have one mic up close to the guitar and then one far away for the reverb? Do you get
Reverb was I think going through a separate thing, but I mean, you know, it's got its own.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, reverb has its own out too. You know?
I didn't know that.
You can send reverb to whatever you want.
Yeah, but
if it has an out, you can send it to wherever.
Because they were using a reverb like preamp. Is that what you're saying? Or because like nowadays it's a pedal. You know what I'm saying?
It was probably a pedal, but maybe I don't know, dude. I wasn't around back then.
Yeah, the way
I wish I could. I know you're trying to figure out the fucking chain,
the mechanism to it.
Yeah, but I don't.
That's true with what you're saying.
It was a pedal, I think. It was a pedal, and I'm assuming that's because I'm saying like the reverb was on the one side, but it's just how it got recorded, you know, and then mixed in.
Being able to grab the reverb sound off of a pedal and you just take that and you're just like, I want that.
You'd have to have you'd have to have two outputs for it.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Because if you only had one, then it would be going to whatever your your main output was.
It would,
like
but then it'd be coming back into your cans, so you'd get reverb on your one side.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like if you're recording, like if you're literally recording a guitar and it's running through that circuit, right? You're not going to be able to separate the reverb from the guitar. You get what I'm saying?
Some of them have two outs.
Yeah, as long if it has it out, then you can do it.
You can
make splitters too.
Exactly.
You can make a splitter.
Well, see, I don't. This is where I don't know.
Because right now we could split this into two. We could send a splitter and just send another one out.
Yeah.
It might be half the signal. I don't know if it is.
Yeah, see,
but you could do whatever you want with that.
You can do whatever you want with that other signal.
Exactly. But that's what I was thinking too. It's like if you have it set up in a way where you're already saying that, then you already know what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
You're already thinking like that. Like, I'm going to take this other sound and...
I don't know how they did it, but there's a situation back in the day.
I think there
was a situation.
What do you mean? There was a situation.
I'm just saying, that's just how it was. I don't know how.
No, I bet how it was is they just had a mic like really far away, and they picked up the ambient.
No, because there was echoes. There was machines, tape echoes. Okay, here's the thing. It's fucking hard to even say. There was a machine that would record and then shoot it back within fucking times. It was called a tape echo, which is what, if you have a setting that says tape echo on your fucking pedal, it's what's mimicking. But it was literally like recording and playing back, so you'd get the echo.
So it was delayed.
Echo.
Yeah,
it was delaying it, but sending it back somehow.
Okay.
And they figured the shit out. I mean, this is legit analog stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how. There's probably one of my teachers right now laughing his fucking ass off because I can't explain this shit. But he knows all how that shit works. You know what I mean? That tape echo. But it was literally tape coming back at you in some sort of, and that's how all of the Pink Floyd songs.
Yeah.
Hello.
They had
anybody hear
like
me?
You can see like their early videos, like their effects they had like a preamp.
Uh-huh.
So almost like a head, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so like an amp. They had like a preamp for that, and they would run. I know that they would run like their line through that, and that was technically their pedal. And they would just turn the switch on, and that's how they would get that sound effect. You get what I'm
like
saying?
a distortion back in the day was distortion. They over fucking.
Yeah.
It was overturned.
Exactly.
It was just fucked up.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this sounds fucked up, but it's cool because I'm on drugs.
So they're just blowing out the bass.
They're blowing the shit out.
Exactly. Yeah.
And now it's like,
but now we just have a controlled way of doing that.
Yeah, now it's somebody figure out how to make it with circuitry.
Yeah.
Funny thing. I listened to a podcast with Keith Richards, and he would record all of his stuff on a tape deck, acoustically, whatever the fuck. And then he would turn that motherfucker up way too loud, and it would sound distorted. He'd put it in front of a mic.
That was a distortion.
That was his distortion.
That's crazy.
Because he liked that playing and writing on an acoustic.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's cool.
So then with his actual guitar or whatever, he would just play to that.
Yeah.
He probably had some.
Later on, he played electric. I mean, but this is in the beginning.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, but he probably like had some dope ass fucking like tape. Well, maybe not though.
Maybe
not.
Sometimes
no one knows.
Listen, I got a really kick-ass little Epiphone practice amp. It's got the coolest crunch you've ever heard. Yeah. And it's tiny. It's goddamn nothing. It's got a little fucking stand.
Yeah.
And I held on to that because I was like, that thing sounds unique.
Yeah.
I bet you if you put it in front of a real fucking nice mic and put some effects on it,
nice.
It would be something cool.
That's awesome.
Johnny,
that's awesome.
Johnny Greenwood uses a solid state amp for his distortion.
Dude, everybody's different. And I think it's all in the mix. Like what you have here, all it has to do is be different from the other guitar player, and then it fills in the spectrum.
Yeah.
You might could have one real tinny guitar, like a Telecaster or something, and then you put it over here with an SG, and that's a pure mud.
Yeah.
You put them together, it sounds cool.
Sounds great, yeah.
Like
that's kind of what we have right now.
Oh,
because I have the Gibson, the Les Paul, and Kenny has the Strat. So.
Strat, yes, it's tinny
and the lows,
and that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be two Les Pauls. Two of the same things hitting the same fucking spectrum. It's gonna sound like
same
shit.
Frequencies, for sure.
And
that was by accident too. That wasn't on purpose. I just happened to like Santana for some like that.
Oh, I love Santana. Europa.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I got the Les Paul because of him and Pete Townsend.
But he plays a Paul Reed Smith.
He plays but I think he played like a Les Paul like for.
He had the SG on that Woodstock.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my favorite guitar, by the way. The SG.
The SG. That thing is fucking dope, man.
I don't. It's just been the most. Like the coolest distorted sound I've ever heard.
I'm just like remembering that video in my head now.
Yeah,
of him playing
high
that.
on acid.
Yeah.
He was high on acid.
That's such an awesome video.
Tripping balls. Yep.
Yeah.
Do you notice that, like, on that video, you see him fucking with his tone the whole time?
They always do that.
Time.
Like, with literally every note.
Every guitar
note.
player that, if you watch B.B. King, anybody
They do that, too?
They don't stop. Because
Isn't
they're
that crazy?
perfectionists.
That's crazy.
Well, a lot of the times, too, it's dynamics. Like, they're like, I want this part to be lower. And then I want this part to...
Yep.
And they're like, oh, it sounds too fucking... They're subconsciously manipulating their sound, just like. And if you listen to Santana, he's like, it's all just like a spirit. It's a spirit running through him. That's the way he calls it. You know what I mean?
No, I get that. When I'm playing drums, there's sometimes where I just feel like I'm playing, and I'm like, if something just clamped onto my snare right now, that would be really nice.
Yeah.
Like it would sound really nice. But it doesn't happen because I can't do it. So
yeah, if you could, you figure something. But see, there's markets. See, the way I think is like there's markets for that. You know,
there's probably a pedal, right? If I'm playing, right, and I'm going for my hi hat, and then I'm like, I want this a little higher, then you just clamp onto that.
There's got to be a market.
It's just like it
there's got to be a market for it. If you were to invent it, you'd make some money.
Well, I think what you could probably invent is a pad that you put on
something quick.
Thing.
It's got to be quick. It's got to be something you can hit
fast.
It would be like a pad,
or even a foot clamp. Just put your fucking foot and it clamps it. Touch your foot, takes it.
I have to remember the name of this thing, but it's it's insane. You can tune it in between songs like this, and literally like you go one side. It's like four little like lugs that you tighten up, and it completely changes the sound of your
nice
snare.
Like,
and it just like you can go from reggae to like Motley Crue.
I see what you're saying.
I had a conversation with a guy, a friend of mine that's Italian. He's been a musician his whole life. He's in his 40s now, and he was talking about he's got the Black Beauty Les Paul.
The guitar.
Yeah, from the 80s.
Yeah.
He paid $4,000 for that fucking thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, when I got to piss, I take it with me.
That's a custom, right?
Yeah, it's the one with the 4. It's got like 4 humbuckers.
Okay.
I think it's 4 gold humbuckers. Like
that sounds crazy.
Yeah, it's a badass motherfucker. And it's heavy.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't take a piss without taking it with me to the bathroom because it's $4,000 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
And all it takes is for somebody to walk away with it. And I said, you know what? There's probably a market for like a stand with an alarm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You clamp on this little sensor or something to the back of your fucking guitar.
And it just goes off the moment.
The moment somebody takes that bitch.
Yeah, but what if they know that though, and then just take the stand with them?
Maybe they don't. I mean, maybe it looks like every other stand.
You could put it on.
Nobody's gonna take a fucking stand.
I think a tracker would make more sense.
A tracker would make sense, but then you'd have to hunt it.
Yeah, but at that time you would just notify the police.
How about both?
Yeah, we can do both.
That bitch is gonna beep and track your ass. You better drop the motherfucker.
Yeah, a bitch is gonna beep and track your ass.
Put some tasing fucking unit on there.
That would be funny, yeah. Or like fingerprints, like that's the only way you could use a guitar.
What they do
or
with dollar
something.
bills, like when you steal money, doesn't the ink thing go off?
Yeah, like that. It just blows up on you.
Really? I didn't know that.
Or we could do like them.
Back in the day. I don't know if they do.
We could do like
them
prank shows and tie some fucking rope to it that they run away. It snatches out of their hand.
No, but then your guitar fucking.
Yeah, I know. But I don't know. That's what I was thinking. Like the dude can't walk away from his guitar, and I was like, well, there's got to be something that can be made.
Without them,
I get that too.
There's always somebody making something, and you're like, that's a good idea. I wish I would have fucking made
Dude,
that.
I had an idea, and whatever. I don't care to say this on the podcast. But
Yeah, I just gave mine away.
Let's
hear yours.
Do you know how like people like to play like beats with their hands?
Yeah.
Like imagine making a thing where it's a pad.
There
like,
is. There's sensors.
God damn it.
You are there, but you can put them on anything. Like you can be like, you know, there's just a sensor.
Oh, that's gay.
And it reads to whatever. Well, I mean, it's the same thing.
God damn it. That's what I thought like, yeah, so like you could play like literally like an electronic like sounding drum kit with your hand, you know?
I understand there. That's been out for a few years. It made a pretty big little jump there for a little bit, and I don't know what happened to it.
I didn't even look it up, so whatever.
But there's sensors, like you move and it makes noises. It's almost like a theremin or whatever. Like,
yeah, that's cool. Fuck me. Damn it.
It's too late.
Well, all right. Well, we are what almost we're an hour and fucking 40 minutes in. So, but before we go, any plugs? Plug your YouTube channel. Just give us
go
that
to
info.
YouTube via Pinstriping. Instagram,
and that's Villa, Villa, Freddie Villa.
Via Villa Pinstriping for the Caucasians. I can't think of anything.
Your
Instagram, same thing, at Via Pinstriping. Facebook is Freddie Villa.
What about for sound stuff?
Same thing. Just contact me on Facebook or email via pinstriping@gmail.com.
Nice.
So yeah, I try to keep it cohesive.
Yeah, makes
all
sense.
the same shit. Just Google via pinstriping, you'll find me.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, man. Thank you for coming, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you back on again after we go through the run of our, you know, I guess we have to like make a normal like set list of guests that we have or whatever. But yeah man.
Where does this? Where can you find this?
We're gonna put this on our YouTube channel. And then we'll post it on like the Instagram and we'll tag you and then Facebook and all that and stuff. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I haven't dabbled in like the other apps and stuff like that. Like
you
the
should
other.
Start streaming,
I know.
Man.
Yeah.
You start getting downloads.
Like Twitch.
Whatever you can find.
Yeah, Facebook Live. I'm assuming.
Every platform you could think of.
Yeah.
I've actually sat there and watched videos of you pinstriping on Facebook.
Oh,
and
nice.
I'm like, and I've sat there and I'm like,
do something, asshole.
This is
what the fuck are you doing?
No. Contrary, I was like, this is fascinating. I could watch this.
For 2 minutes at least.
Let's do this.
But yeah, man. Thank you for coming on. And everybody go fuck yourselves. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Fuckers.
Peace.